couldn't find one, and I didn't trust myself to make the mana myself. Because, like, there's no stomping ground, so, like, it's not just an easy 8. We're going to have to put, like, some rando color lands in it, and then I'm afraid, like, I won't have enough green. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Nobody cares about my woes. But yeah. So I wanted to give it a try. And as you noticed, it's another deck with 20 lands. So the theme of this deck, or the theme of this week has been, don't play 20 land decks in Standard, and this is why I hate them. So we're just going to keep going down this road. But basically, we're using all of these things that make mana. I'm saying all of these, but like I'm loosely just pointing at these 12 cards. But we use them to like power this out or power this out and kind of have an engine. We have some Still Leaf Champions and some Bind Mares in the sideboard, so you can go a little Still Leaf Stompy like, and then there's some Diamond Mares and Shaper Sanctuaries and stuff like that for like the red decks or the heavy removal decks. But it's fairly fast, it's fairly resilient. As long as we don't get paired versus a bunch of Jeskai decks, I think we'll be okay. Obviously, like a Fiery Conclave deck or Deafening Clarion deck can blow you out at the right times, but you do have some play around them. I'm going to keep this hand, though I assume this hand's actually a mulligan in practice. But I'm hesitant to mulligan any hand with a turn 1 Llanowar Elf. I just don't trust myself to think that I'm right doing that. There's only 20 lands in the deck too, so odds are we are going to draw something that we can play off this Llanowar Elf on the following turn. It's like not 100%, but odds are we're going to. Well, hopefully they don't have a lightning coil to go with it. Either way, they're not going to have a sweeper that kills them both. So at the very worst case scenario, we're going to get 2 things in play. Yeah, Martin's real good. I think I'm going to play this one. It's a little bit better on the mana. I don't get to draw a card this turn with it, though. So if they're playing a heavy counterspell deck, this is going to end up being very bad. But I assume they're not playing a very heavy counterspell deck. And apparently I was wrong. They are playing the very heavy counterspell deck. Alright, well then, we're just going to do this. Can't be syncopated, it can still be scattered. It's probably what I should have played last turn, so we missed this land drop and that's pretty bad for us. Really just wanted to hit all of our land drops before Niv Mizzet come down and did the number on us. Oh, that's an elf too, that's kind of neat. Alright, so we'll start with this. Probably going to counterspell that, but either way we get to play the Thorn. We'll try to cast Still Leaf Champion if we draw a land. Anticipate? That's not a playable magic card, really. That was just kind of weird. Because I'm never attacking with that next turn, so... So Niv Mizzet is probably going to come down and win the game now. There's probably nothing we can do about it. Just a little bit too slow, missed 1 land drop. Could have played the wrong cards though. Well, it's not a Niv Mizzet. Yay. Like, missing that land drop could have been my fault. I guess we're going to play our land first. Then we're just going to play this and draw our card. Assume they're going to counterspell it, and I put more value on this, is why I'm playing it second. I figured he would untap and have triple red. I knew he didn't have it at the time that I said that. I just assumed he would. Right on time, Pelt Collector. Hey, Tacos, what's up? To add trampled auto creatures for this deck to prevent stalemates. What red card did you splash, and how did you get the mana? Cause like I really wanted to splash red for Experimental Frenzy, and I couldn't quite figure out how. Though Experimental Frenzy doesn't really play well with these, it's just like another way out of the board that I was thinking that like maybe I get to go wild. I'm probably gonna want these here. I'm probably gonna want these here, and I'm probably gonna want these here. What don't I want then? I feel like I just kind of want everything. Maybe I can take that out on the draw. Let's at least shave some. I don't know if I want to shave them all. I guess if we're just trying to go a little bit bigger and kill them with Vine Mares and stuff, that maybe we can cut some of our engine things. Maybe that's wrong too. So you just had 5 red sources? You had like a Guild Gate and 4 Rootbound Crags? Maybe I can just get rid of some of the more mediocre mana producers. Though these mana producers do survive Colonnade, and so do these. So I'll take these out. We got a lot of mana and we're on the draw. I assume that our stuff won't be alive. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's called. Like, I don't think I've read the card. Well, this thing is pretty hot. Basically exactly where I want to be versus them. They did spend a mana to shock, so we know this thing's gonna die. I think I'm actually just gonna cast one of these. Whatever I cast here is probably getting counterspelled. This, I feel like, is the least valuable card in our hand. Now this turn I'm actually going to cast the Vine Mare because I want something that can survive Ralzeric on the following turn. And I don't want them being able to cast Chemister's Insight. So if we just played this and they had Chemister's Insight, they could cast Ralzeric and kill this, and I wouldn't have been happy about that. Though I am pretty happy about just slamming Vine Mare and saying, can you deal with my 5/3? Which, like, obviously they have cards that can, but whatever they have that kills the Vine Mares, probably in form of a creature and a block, which means the second Vine Mare should resolve. Star of Extinction's like a lot of mana, so I'm not going to play around it, even though I do think it's a playable card. How much mana is it again? I'm trying to refresh myself on whether it's 6 or 7. It's 7. That's what I thought it was. Well, I'm just going to attack for 6. I'm going to save the Vivian for whatever turn they tap out for, like, a big friend. So now if they have a Nicobolus next turn, they lose. They have double Colonnade. We get to resolve something. They shocked, so I guess it's double fiery. Oh no, it's just Nicobolus and we win. Yeah, I can understand that for sure. The token decks could be a big problem. Yeah, I wanted something red. Like, that was the first thing I mentioned in the talking before the event started. Like, I wanted to splash red, but I wasn't really sure how to do it without putting a bunch of mountains in it, and I didn't really want to put a bunch of mountains in it because I was afraid that, like, if they just, like, kill my Land of Wealth or whatever, I could struggle playing my triple green cards. Like, if I had Stomping Ground, it'd be real simple. I'd just play, like, 9 Guildgate / Stomping Ground type effects. I keep saying Niv. I do not know what you're hearing, but I'm definitely saying Niv. I think. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. He was playing the black-blue Ritual Smoot Goldenemize deck, so like I'm pretty sure this isn't a winnable match. At least main deck. Maybe we have some way to beat it post board. I don't have any idea, but main deck, we're definitely just cannot beat this deck. Definitely not saying Bolus. I think you're just high. Corey's high has been called. I don't know, you could be right. I'm an idiot. But yeah, I know it's Niv. Don't kill my things. I will lose. We do know that he plays Golden Demise in his main deck, but like it's not like I feel like we can play around it or anything. Huh. I kind of just want to play one of these. Could play this into this, and then Smoot doesn't kill this, but I'm fine with that. I assume he's going to have Smoot and a lot of things are about to die. Oh, he only killed the one thing. Well, that's kind of good for us then. Oh. Well, hell. So this is currently a 3. This would make it a 4. This would make it a 5. Or we play this equal to its power. So if we play this first and then this, we get a card. And we still have some things that are protected versus Smoot. A nice money draft? That's kind of cool. I don't think I've actually ever played a money draft as much as I played Magic. So he's at 25 life. I think it's like just pretty easy to cast this card. think I'm going to tap this now. Get to draw 2 cards. Like, the odds of us hitting something seem pretty nice. Yeah, he's just giving up. Oh, wow. We were going to get to go pretty sweet there. Sounds like you have a lot better magic in your area than we do in ours. Alright, so we saw the operative. We know that most of his things are... He does have Dream Meters, but everything else in his deck feels like it's black. So we're going to bring in Divine Mares. He has Doom Whisperers. Is that a good enough reason to bring in Vivian? It's probably a good enough reason to bring in Vivian. And then he's got some spot removal, but not like infinite. Yes, probably 6 or 7 times our size. No, it's probably, I don't know, we probably have 7 to 9,000. So those are cards that I'm considering bringing in. I think cards in general that I don't want are things like these. Actually, kind of think that Vanquisher's Banner is a little bit better than Beast Whisperer in a match like this, but that's just because of how hard it is for him to remove it. I think on the draw, I'm just going to get rid of all of these and see how it works. That's right. I cut a potential 8 mana producers and added 2 more 5-drops to our deck. I'm what they refer to in the business as wild as fuck, fam. We played Venom last night too, and he beat us to death. Thought we had a Llanowar Elf in our hand. I don't know where it went. I could have swore there was a Llanowar Elf in our hand. It doesn't change the keeper to draw, but I did think we had one. There's a good chance that he takes one of these 3 cards, depending upon their hand. I don't think they're going to care any about the creatures that they can actually target. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Guess we're really far away from casting that, so we'll get rid of it. Guess I attack here? Give him something to kill. That's a lot of cards. Hmm. Kinda don't want to get 3 for 1, but I'm just going to risk it because I want the mana so bad. And he doesn't have to have a Smoot, right? You just like not have it. Looks like he doesn't have it. Lucky days for us. Hmm. I'll take the Pelt Collector just because I can cast it. I may block the Blood Operatives now. The winning team got all the cards and you were playing for money? I'm just going to block him. No, don't have another one. Like, specifically hoping you don't have those here. I'm just going to attack for a bunch. Does he not have Ritual of Smoot in his deck? Because this seems like kind of an odd place to concede again. Like, you would think you could just, like, draw Ritual into Contempt and win from here. You sure had them yesterday. I can't imagine why you play these colors without them. Maybe Ritual of Smoot doesn't do what I think it does. Now, Venom doesn't stream. I wish he did, because I think he's a pretty solid player. Destroy all creatures with converted mana, cost 3 or less. Yeah, it can kill every one of our things. I mean, we'd still get at least a draw step and an activation off this, but like, he could block here, just takes 4 of his turns, so he's still at 9. Like, it's very reasonable to me that feels like he could win if he just like smoots into a Contempt. Anyway, 2-0. Yeah, he speaks English. Like, I've talked to him before after our games and stuff. I talked to him last night. He probably speaks it better than I do. Well, at least types it better than I do. But no, he does. He doesn't. It's a pretty basic deck though. I could whip one up for you or find one for you. The problem I have with the deck is I don't think Campaign's actually a playable Magic card. I like everything else that the deck's doing, and like, sure, there's some games that Campaign will go like completely off for you, but I think on average Campaign will lose you more games than it'll win you. And obviously this draw's insane because we're doing still leaf stumpy things this game. We do need to hit our land though. But we hit our land. Is this power or is it toughness? It's just power. Alright, well if it's just power, I guess I'm just going to play these two then. Next turn, we can Pelt into Beast Whisper or Beast Whisper into Pelt, depending on what we feel like the game situation calls for. Obviously, one of them gives us a card, one of them gives us a power on the Pelt. Really completely depends on where we think the game's at. It'll most likely be getting the card. I just don't want to say it's 100%. Well, now I'll say it's 100%. It's 100% getting the card now. I'm going to play the land, though. Because I want to be able to attack with this if we don't hit a 1-drop. They missed their land. They need to kill this. If they kill this, this stays in play. If they kill this, we have lethal on board. And if they kill this, we still have 6 power on board, and we have an active Beast Whisperer. I don't think they can come back from this game unless they have probably fiery conclaves in the main deck, or fiery cannonades in the main deck, and they like killed this into a cannonade into killing this, and we bricked a few turns, they'd be at like 2 life probably at the end of that, so I don't think it's very likely that they're going to be able to win. We were going to hit a pelt, and the pelt was going to draw us a Narwhal, and the Narwhal was going to draw us something we couldn't cast, but that's fine. Alright, again, we'll keep bringing in the same cards in these matches, I think. They have a decent amount of removal, and I actually think these are pretty good versus the all removal decks. I'm sideboarding out these Adventurer's Impulses almost every game because I just don't think they're good. Simply put, I do not think they're good Magic cards. Also going to trim a couple of these this game. I want some of the cows, but I don't think I want all of the cows, because there's such a good chance that they're going to like shock our first thing. I'm going to get rid of 1 clan collar this game too. I might get rid of 2 clan collars. Like the clan collars like win games, but I don't know if they win our average game here. And the cows survive Fiery Cannonade, which is the card I'm most afraid of from their deck. I mean, obviously I'm afraid of like early Enigma Drakes, or like them going like wild with Arclight Phoenixes early, or like a Niv Mizzet in the late game. But it's just terms of early plays, like Cannonades, how I think that they get to those plays on average the most. And they mulliganed again. They're probably playing the 20 land build just because of all of these mulligans. Feel like if they had a shock, they would have probably just shocked, or if they had shock, they would have probably shocked themselves there. So they might have to waste a cannonade on this to kill it, or they might just not have a land. Could be anything right now. Like, you can certainly win games, because like you can just activate them into more of them, but I feel like a lot of that might just be win more scenarios, like games that you're going to win regardless. So 1 drop would be a perfect draw. Doesn't really matter what it is, just something to get going. Preferably a land war elf, I guess, but I guess I want to play this. Something that I feel like they have to kill. Though it could be wrong, because they could be setting up the Crackling Drake now, and I might have needed the Vivian. Obviously want to draw a land now. It's not GG yet. If he still has Niv, if he just untaps and has Niv Mizzet, we could have some problems. But if he has anything other than Niv Mizzet on this turn, I like our odds pretty high. Like a Niv Mizzet this particular turn could still be problematic. Guess I just want to do this then. If I draw a land, I can play this one. If I don't draw a land, I can play the other one. Well, we vomited out quite a bit of power there. Looks like they're not playing Niv Mizzet again, so that gives us another good chance. trying to fade like Enigma Drake now. They have a beacon boat that can flash back on the pelt collector. They have to have Niv Mizzet if they're not killing pelt collector here, I feel. Or maybe they have a shock, I guess. They're just trying to hit another arc light before they give us the business. Feeling pretty good now, especially if these two cards coming down next turn. Well, probably not blocking, so he should probably attack. Yeah. Well, that feels pretty decent. I don't think I'm worried about just slamming another thing. So if we attack for 8 this turn, he goes down to 9, even if he blocks 2 things next turn. We're an okay shape. Yeah, I'm just not going to cast anything else this turn. This feels like enough. Hey JJ, what's up? Because now if he has Niv Mizzet, he has to trade the Niv Mizzet off and we still have, you know, this much power in play. They could do a lot of things with this. They've already got a beacon boat which can kill this. Then they can chump block this, but it doesn't really do anything about these, and if they kill this even gets bigger. And next turn we just go off more. I don't think I need the Shapers here, because I feel like I'm just setting up to win in 2 attacks. Like, I think there was a good chance that we're just winning not the turn that we untap, but the turn after that. Well, we don't draw that many cards. He can just target us, right? He doesn't have to target the creatures. But the thing is, I don't know if we need cards to win. I think we just win without the cards. That's not a win this turn. Yeah, they're probably going to concede here. Yeah, and there they go. I just didn't think we needed the cards at that stage of the game. Like, with the only having 5 mana, I didn't see how they were ever going to come back. Alright, well, we got our pity chest in a lightning fast 33 minutes. That's $2.17 in Sean's pocket. Well, it's not really. It's like $2.08 or whatever in Sean's pocket. Oh, I like being greedy too. I mean, he could have untapped and had like double cannonade and then like played Niv Mizzet. I don't even know if he could have won if he did untap and have double cannonade. Because on the following turn, we just get to play like 3 more things and then the Shaper Sanctuary. Like, I feel like we'd have to have gotten pretty unlucky even if he could have swept the entire board. Alright, we're 3-0-6-0. Can we live this dream? I don't own this card, I don't think. I believe I have 4 of everything else in the deck. I don't own Pelt Collectors either. I don't know if I have 20 forests. I don't know if I have 20 unglued or unhinged forests in real life either. Yeah, this is a ridiculously cheap deck on Magic Online. I think these might be 20 ticks or something, but the rest of the deck just can't be worth much at all. I'll look it up while we're waiting on our next victim. Feeling confident tonight, calling our next victim out. much did this deck cost? This deck cost 64 tickets. And 43 of them are in the sideboard. We've drawn a lot of Llanowar Elves and been on the play a lot tonight, too. Speaking of which, we were on the play and we drew a Llanowar Elf. Wah, wah, wah. Alright, I'm going to keep this. Only because of the scry. I would not keep this if it was 7 cards. I expect to lose with this one. Because I just expect not to draw our land and me be very sad. I was correct. We did not draw our land and now I'm very sad. I think we can still win if we draw the land next turn. We still got this. We just have to draw the land next turn and he'll not have shock. He doesn't have shock. Step 1. Go get him for one, little buddy. Alright, now we need to draw another land so we can jam double chain color. Boo. But that's okay. That's a lot worse. They still have 5 cards. How do they have 5 cards? Oh, that's because their first 3 cards they cast were just cantrips, but sure. Alright, one more land and we have a bunch of 3/3s. I don't think we can win anymore, especially if we miss this land. I guess we need to draw another land. No! Don't play things like that. I don't want this thing killing me in 2 attacks. Stop it. This thing's getting too close to killing me in 2 attacks. I mean, in fairness, if it was one of those red cards that you were talking about, it wouldn't have done anything in this situation, so at least we have 9 power in the board this way. And that's 2 attacks and we're dead. Alright. Well, don't mulligan and keep a 1 land hand. You'll get wrecked. I am going to keep sideboarding some of these out every game, though. Would they? I probably wouldn't even been able to cast them. Like, there's very little chance that any of these would have been red mana, right? Like, if it was a basic mountain, are we keeping? Or are we having to mulligan to 5? I'm still not 100% sure what card you're talking about, though, so, like, maybe it does more than I think it does. It's, like, pretty reasonable, since I don't really know what the card does. Alright, land time. I'm not going to keep it. I guess we're keeping it. Oh, that red card. Yeah. Well, if we had a red source, sure, that would have did something. I thought you were talking about like some kind of splitter gold card. Alright, we'll keep. That clearly goes to the bottom. think I'm just going to be greedy and slam this one on turn 1. We have enough relevant 3 drops that I think it's worth it for me. Ooh, that feels good. Should have played this and played around Spell Pierce, but if they have Spell Pierce in against me, I might just rage quit if they have Spell Pierce in. A real possibility that I'm done with Magic for tonight if there's Spell Pierce in against me in game 2. It was still incorrect what I did, regardless of whether I think they have the card or not. There was no reason to not play around it when I could. This hand gets blistered by Cannonade. At least this survives Cannonade, if they have it. Like, our engine's setting pretty nice now. If it's just a spot removal, we get to draw a card too. So either way, we'd get value out of this in this scenario. One way or the other. One way or the other. So well, never mind. I was going to say our opponent's not drawing lands this game, but he proved me wrong by just slamming a land and shocking himself to kill our Beast Whisperer, probably. Oh no, just to cycle another one of those. Interesting. Whew. I think I'm just going to jam this one. Well, that wasn't wonderful. Really want to draw a land that turn. We can still lose this game without drawing a land. Like, Crackling Drakes and stuff can just crush us right now. Enigma Drake's pretty good versus us right now. I wonder if all of these red-blue decks are going to be this popular if we can, like, reasonably sideboard in just, like, plummet effects again. Hopefully he can't cast 2 more spells this turn. Oh god, what is Murph showing me? Oh. 2 Plague Crafters. March. Frenzy. Yeah, you got some good cards there. Yeah, so they didn't have anything else, or are they just gonna like go to their end step and discard another Arclight? No, we have Mana Traders still. This deck came from Mana Traders. I think this is just a better card to play. Obviously, just really hope we hit the land, but... Yes, that's not a land. That is a land. Nope, we have Mana Traders till 2020 now. I found a sponsor that paid for our Mana Traders. So we're going to win this game, but they were stuck on mana, just like we were on game 1, so maybe game 3 we'll both get to cast our spells. When 2 20-land decks battle, one's often going to get the short end. What draw do I want to change anything? Not really, I don't think. Just gonna run it back. And hope that some of these one drops are useful. Yeah, they saw the post I made on Twitter, and then they apparently organized something through Mana Traders. This is the only picture I have for them right now. That's the guy that sponsored, but I'll get rid of that. Nobody wants to see that. We'll keep. It's a slow hand, but we have 3 draw steps before we technically need a land. And if we're not drawing a land, we're probably drawing something we can play on too. This hand might have been too greedy. Like, I might have overrated how good Shaper Sanctuary is, especially when we can't technically play our creatures. But we found something we can play on too, so it gets significantly better. Unlikely to kill this one. Enigma Drake could just kill us. So we were like 70% to have land 3 on 3. Will we get there? Or won't we get there? If we don't get there, we lose this game on the spot. Like, we literally cannot win if we do not hit this mana. And the game's over. Unfortunate. All 3 games, either we stumbled on mana or they stumbled on mana. He might not block because he could be worried about a prey upon dealing the final 2 damage. Never mind. He does not care. Chance for Glory. I don't even know what that is. It's just going to be like a Crackling Drake or something. Alright, one more time to draw our land. Well, it's kind of a land, but it's not really a land. If every spell in their hand's like a removal spell, I think we still lose. Ah, okay, fair enough. Somebody told me about that card, I just hadn't really read it, I guess. I don't know how we beat 3 of those even if we do hit lands. Might as well get 1 point of damage in. Guess we could have played Vine Mare and just hoped that they didn't have spells, but that doesn't seem reasonable. Our opponent's living the dream if they have an Arclight. Alright, well, this game's over. Arclight or not, we're dead. I'm confused. Why does this say 0-4? What do I not understand about this card? Crackling Drake has power and toughness equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards you own in exile or in your graveyard. Why does this say 0-4? Somebody explain it to me why this says 0-4. What don't I understand about this? Might have conceded too early if it's actually a 0-4. Oh. Well, why does it become a 0-4 and the Enigma Drakes still stay a 5-4? Like, it was still showing the Enigma Drakes as 5-4s. So I don't understand that. That's why I was confused, because I thought they had the same templating, except for Crackling Drake also counted exile cards, but it was showing those Enigma Drakes as 5-4s and the Crackling Drake as a 0-4. It didn't make sense to me. Well, there goes our chance at a 5-0, but we still have a pity chest regardless. Us nor our opponent really got to play Magic in those 3 games, I feel. Another black base deck. Generally pretty bad for us. I'm just going to cast 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop of this hand and hope it's enough. And by enough, I mean I hope we don't get smooted. I guess if I'm doing this, you're better. I have so many counter spells, they don't care about that. That's scary. Still think it's right just to cast that, even though like it was pretty obvious the way they played that they were going to have another counter spell. I was just hoping it was a Sinister Sabotage and that they were super greedy. It was not. Well, I guess we'll take this one. This is probably Teferian game. Simple. They were on to play. They had turn 1 removal, turn 2 removal, turn 3 removal game. And we'll go get our thingy back, I guess. Actually, I'm just going to get this one back. That way I can play 2 threats this turn so I can actually attack the Teferi next turn. One way or the other. Like, maybe it's good enough, but probably not. Well, we're going to kill this one. This thing can still kill Teferi if they don't have anything. If they have something, we're like pretty clearly dead. Guess I'm going to play this. I have to discard a card anyway. I'd rather discard a Foreign Lieutenant. At least I have no card they can get back from me that I'm afraid of. Like, Eldest Reborn's at its worst versus us. You let me draw 2 cards, then you killed it. What? You let me draw 2 cards, then you killed it. I'm confused. Oh my god. Look at how lucky that was. That's what you call running hot. Like, Eldritch Reborn's like such a bad Magic card versus us, but I guess it works when you top deck it in that exact situation. Looks like they top decked another removal right behind it. Oh no, just a draw 2 into a removal. Alright, well, feel like our opponent's running incredibly hot here, but whatever. I don't think we can win anymore. I feel like we're just dead now. If they draw something like a Vanquishing's Banner that resolves, and the fact that they're not even using Chemist Insight, like, says a whole lot. Alright, we'll just move on to the next game. We won't waste no one's time. And we'll sideboard pretty close to the exact same way we have in almost every game. We'll go ahead and get these out. We're going to get these out. I kind of want to bring these in. Like, is that wrong to want to bring some Reclamation Sages in? It feels wrong to want Reclamation Sages here. Druid of the Cows just feel wrong in general here, too. I think I'd rather just have Clan Collars. Don't want all of you. I don't know if I should bring Vivian in. Maybe I should have more low drops, but trying to find some things that help us come back. I'm going to keep this, but it's probably wrong. I'm pretty sure this is just an easy mulligan, but hopefully they won't have fungal infection or dead weight. Like, their mana's pretty bad, so I think there's a good chance we untap with that. Okay. Weird to me, but that's fine. Just going to get smoothed this game and lose if we don't get Beast Whisperer basically this turn. We did not get Beast Whisperer this turn, so we're basically now just dead. He's F6'd as well, which means he definitely has a sweeper. And we're down to 1 land when he sweeps us, and the game's over. Well, he didn't have the sweeper. I guess that's something. Alright, well, I'm just going to turn everything sideways then. Do we really still not have another land? I kind of just want to cast these now, but they're just going to get counterspelled. So I kind of can't cast them now. Can't believe they brought Thief of Sanity in versus us. Really? Thief of Sanity? Like, I don't care if they have Settled Wreckage, do I? Also, don't believe they have Settled Wreckage in their deck, so. We won with that hand! How did we win with that hand? What just transpired? I was gonna sit over here and be wilded and outed over that. Wilded and outed? That doesn't sound like things. Kinda want you in the deck now. If he's just weak to us turning shit sideways, let's just feel good and turn shit sideways. Kinda want the Druid Cowl to draw too. Yeah, well, we're keeping. A typical elf kill. Oh, wow. Oh, God. Choices! Choices! What do we do? I think we're just going to jam Big Fat Daddy. It's like pretty hard not to jam Fat Daddy when we have an opportunity to jam Fat Daddy. Give him something to counterspell, or like force him to use his removal spell up front. Mana for Days has been called. Huh. It's like pretty easy for them to have a counterspell, so think I still just rock out. They smooth, I lose my board, but maybe if we can draw a land, we can cast the Vine Mare. That's not great here. They need a removal spell now. Oh wow, they're just letting our thing die. Could cast this and know it's going to resolve. That feels pretty solid. Also feels pretty solid to just play this. Like, they both feel pretty good, right? I'm gonna cast this while we know we can. Wonder if I should have brought in the third Reclamation Sage. Yeah, we assumed they would have that type of spell. One of the reasons I want to go ahead and get Divine Mare in play. It's going to be a hard game to win still. We basically did everything we wanted, and it may not be enough. We have a 2-turn clock currently, but they have an active search for Azcanta. And they do have Settled Wreckage, but currently they don't have another white mana. How can you splash for a double white spell? And they're not getting the white mana this turn either. They got a cast down though, so they're not dead. And we're going to call Elemental here because they can't block Divine Mare. Boom. Get up, horse. Get up, horse. That was sweet. Get up, horse, and get things done. This deck's pretty fun. I'm pretty sure that we're a massive dog versus this Ritual of Smoot Settled Wreckage deck, but I mean, you know, I feel like we were a pretty good favorite versus the Izzet deck earlier too. Obviously, the Izzet deck can get explosive draws that can beat anything, but just average game versus average game. We beat it how many times? So before it beat us. So, you know, I mean, it's just part of Magic. Like the favored deck doesn't always win. I do feel like we were favored here. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't call horse. I would have lost if I called horse. Oh, I can't call horse. Sorry, I didn't know I could call horse. I knew it was a Vine Mare, but as you can see on the card there, it only shows the word elemental, and I didn't click on it to see if it said anything else. I just called the word I saw. I was like, elemental and you're dead. That's enough for me. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious that it's a horse. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. Mr. Ed whooping the tail. Anyway, so nobody cares about me talking about a TV show that was made before you kids were born, that a lot of you kids have never saw. The deck was pretty fun. It definitely feels like the best 20 land deck we've tried so far. Like the red decks with 20 lands seemed pretty disappointing. The Izzet deck with 20 lands seemed pretty disappointing. The White Weenie deck with 20 lands seemed disappointing, though I do believe if we changed some of the cards in that White Weenie deck, you know, like maybe had some Tocatlis in the deck, maybe some History Benalias or whatever, we would have been more impressed by it. But just a 21 drop Tom Ross special was not working out for us. Though somebody 5-0'd with it, so maybe it's just us. Who knows? But anyway, yep. Hey, wait. I have a sub from a stranger. There is just no way I can pronounce your name. Kia Muriel? Camuriel? I'm going to say it's Camuriel. I probably just insulted you. I apologize. I am a dumb country redneck, and I can barely speak English, much less, like, whatever that is. I highly apologize. But thank you so much for the sub. Big thumbs up. Big Boros fist bump to you, or something. Unfortunately, you showed up at a very poor time. I don't have to. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. It's from a book. Let's Google what book it's from. Oh, Forgotten Realms. Somebody suggested that to me. I thought it was a video game, though. I didn't actually realize they were suggesting a book. Now I'm distracted as I'm reading about it. Hey, this is a board game or something, right? I don't know. Oh, there's a bunch of novels in this series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's like 15 novels and short stories? That's a bunch. Wow. Oh, so a lot of stuff. Fair enough. The race is a drow. I'm not sure what that is. The dude looks elfish on the pictures that I see. Salvatore. I've heard that name too. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know a whole lot about things like that, but it looks pretty cool. I've definitely had it suggested to me. Anyway, like I said, I highly appreciate the sub. Unfortunately, you showed up right after the league was over, and we're going to hop offline because we have an infinite amount of work to do before tomorrow. But I want to thank you guys so much for coming out as always, and I'm going to see if anybody's streaming anything interesting, or if not, I'm just going to host Brad as always. Because Brad's good people. Yeah, it looks like we're just hosting Brad as always. Wow, Brad's getting close to 100 people every night. Yeah, I felt like we got pretty lucky in that last match, but like versus all these blue-red decks down here, like this was a blue-red deck, this was a blue-red deck, and this was a blue-red deck, like they all felt pretty good. These blue-red Arclight Phoenix's decks are everywhere right now. Have no idea how we beat Venom. Venom has Golden Demises and Ritualist suits in his main deck. He's the just black-blue control. Felt like we got really lucky to beat him. Yesterday, Venom beat us to death. We did get to kill somebody with an elemental horse that got swole. But anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate it, and as always, I'll be back Saturday, but it'll probably be sometime during Saturday day instead of early in the morning because League of Legends Worlds comes on at 4 a.m. my time. So, and I have Friday Night Magic, so I probably won't even get home till 1 or 2, and I want to like make some pasta or something and get set up for League of Legends Worlds. But yeah, so we'll be back. I mean, we're not going to miss a day, but we'll be back Saturday sometime. Considering streaming the Commander Challenge, but it seems like Brea's crushing the Commander Challenge right now, and I don't want any part of Brea, so I'm not actually sure. But take care, everybody, and thanks for coming by.